in the opener of this best of 3 to determine who's going on here at the Intel Extreme Masters and who's going home. To deliver that, though, it will be Jason and Vince. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Trace. Thank you, boys, and the deaths of historic players on each of these lineups that have gone head-to-head so many times. NBK, RPK, Apex. On the other side, you have Get Right, you have Forest, and various lineups and various teams over the years. They have had some amazing clashes. This one here for legend status at IEM Katowice. This one here for a place in the top 8 or going home early.
And of course, the last French hope too. G2 weren't able to make it out. The Ninjas, there for the Swedes.
And this is part of what they just touched on the desk. This is a pretty standard pistol run out of NiP, and the claim is that Vitality is going to be able to kind of counteract that they'll have the answers for the standard stuff that NiP shows them. Not a whole lot of trickery, not a whole lot of variation in this pistol run. A retake on the A bomb site. Dennis back at car. The kid is on Forest, and he doesn't have a smoke either. There's a great goosh. Long range from the USP. And NBK is going to be forced into a passive position.
Get Right tried to take the aggression, but double stack through mid will yield the kill onto him. Lekro going to try and stand tall and has done a lot of damage to RPK. Finishes him off, plus in mid, Apex down to a measly 17 health. An important trade. This is wasting vital time, though. But Forest is there to help him out. Apex has been bested, leaving it a 3-on-4 in favor of NiP. But the bomb, of course, has been planted firmly down. Headshots being exchanged. Alex is going to be able to deliver one more. Can he go any further? They're going to need him to, and he has. He's struck twice. This now puts a lot more pressure on Rez, but he's going to be close range with a pistol once again. Mr. Consistent for NiP. Is alive and kicking. That flashbang destroys Zywoo, and NiP may be able to get this. It's going to be very close, but they've got it done.
Yeah, he's got it for sure, and that flashbang might have been the big one. Zywoo might have been able to get that kill, might have been able to just delay long enough, as you saw the defuse, how close it was. Well managed from NiP. I thought that was a cool twist from Vitality. The A smokes, and then the punish with the boost over. NiP rotates a little bit too quick, a little bit less cautious than perhaps they should have been. And that could have been a real issue. Nicely done from Lekro to hold that off.
Yeah, quite a few key trades that NiP were confined to through mid Lekro. Then you saw Rez with a beautiful flashbang alongside it. Forest chipped into Apex, who was low, but Vitality going to bounce right back in with a full force buy, leaving a bit of funds on RPK, but they've got 3 assault rifles off the back of this with 2 upgraded pistols. So NiP, great start, but they're going to have to be very careful here. This is still a very dangerous round. Some nades as well here, Moses. They've got Molly, Smoke, and Flash on NBK and RPK. Haven't committed to anything either.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of it is dangerous because NiP, one, has no idea what's happening across the map. They don't know what Vitality is setting up for quite yet. And also, obviously, because of the rifles that are invested in this second round. Here we go. Here's the first glimpse as Zywoo gets aggressive over the boost, clears things out. It's only Get Right at the highway box, and this UMP, you imagine he would have to fall back pretty quickly from this fight. It'll be interesting and important to see how NiP rotates if that scenario comes to pass. Over towards the A bomb site we go, 45 seconds left. It will be a hit here. No one's in the bomb site just yet. Lekro, a scout, and there goes Get Right. Not able to get away from the fight. Good wins from Dennis and Forrest. Dennis, a lot of confidence issues. Not showing here in this round. He swings out and he goes to get the AK-47. The bomb is on the other side of the smoke, and Vitality must commit.
Apex is going to do just that. Gets the entry, but only 25 seconds now at their disposal. He's going to try and interject by taking down Lekro long range. The scout's going to reign supreme. And now RPK, oh, 2 headshots in quick succession. This is now doable. Actually, it's very possible. Forrest is just down to 11 health. He's got enough time to get the bomb planted. The P250 comes up massive. He's also got the Galil. He's going to smoke out just to allow himself the opportunity, and RPK has got the clutch. A 1-on-3. What a start for Vitality.
That is so dirty from the P250. I said it yesterday. Argue with me. P250, best pistol in the game. That is so incredible, the second shot over towards the truck. I thought NiP had that one, certainly. The tank delivers for the Frenchman. That is a thing of beauty. Just a nice little one tap. put Lekro in his place, and obviously the low HP Force needed that kill immediately. That one's tough for the Ninjas. They're going to be forced back to Deagles, the CZ on Get Right, the scout on Dennis. Dennis very vocal in an interview about, and on Twitter, about some of his in-game issues, saying when he gets into an official, it feels like it's a game that he just doesn't really know how to play. Freely admitting he's having some kind of struggle with his mentality. Rez gonna smoke off the Molotov. Actually, the damage is actually more inflicted on the Vitality side. The Deagle gets one kill. That's a low HP player. Force is gonna chime in, and now NiP can just wait. They don't have to be the aggressors, but they're winning every fight. RPK and ZywOo gonna go down at the end, and NiP were gonna respond in this third round. They turn it right back.
That is unbelievable. Maybe RPK can do damage again, but to be in upgraded pistols and a scout and come out with 4 players alive, Vitality have been obliterated there.
That's, as you said, 4 players alive is the big swing. 2 AK-47s are salvaged off the ground. The MAC-10 on Lekro, they can keep that. I don't think that Vitality will invest here. They might go for it, but they won't be able to get any of the rifles that we saw them win with in the previous round that were so important. The Galil's doing damage, and a lot of this, I mean, just straight luck through the smoke, so the NiP, a little bit of magic showing up early.
Well, we were expecting a back-and-forth game. So far, Cash has been a seesaw of Counter-Strike. Some more chip damage to RPK. They posture just outside of the B site. Smoke some Molotovs. I think it was extinguished, and now Apex straight in. Rez has been found, did do a lot of damage with a flashbang into the eyes of Forest. He cannot see a single thing. The snowstorm descends. And now Get Right, going to be spraying through the smoke, finds one. They still have control of the bomb.
This is so sloppy so far, Vince. I think maybe NiP assumed the same as I did, that there wasn't going to be a buy, that Vitality would be forced away. Playing in positions, Forrest just completely blinded, just eats a flashbang full force, and I think NiP at least has to try and go for this, at least at the start. It's going to be so tough. AK and FAMAS both salvaged. Here comes the utility from the retaking side when crossfires are set up across low HP. There's a MAC-10 kill on the site, and now NiP have secured a way in to get this defused. It's just NVK. They know exactly where he is. Good opening kill. The follow-up as well. NVK needs a third, and he's not going to get it. But is there time? I think he's just going to have it. The kit is going to bail NiP out. A stellar retake in a backs-against-the-wall situation, and NiP convert.
They convert, but again, it's at the cost of 4 players, so their economy is still very much in danger. That being said, even with the bomb plant, Vitality's funds aren't looking great. What do they do here? They must know that NiP are on the brink of collapse.
This would be so risky if they call for a buy here. This would be pretty big implications for their money moving forward, so they're going to sit back. Half purchase, half investment coming in, upgraded pistols, light armor on a couple players, good amount of utility. So still some danger if NiP get caught again, as they did in the last round. But certainly this is a buy designed not necessarily to win, obviously that's the end goal, but at least do damage. At least get 2 or 3 kills. NiP in a position for the reset. Op rings out true.
Molotov there to force Lekro out of position, but he's already struck hard. Dennis now able to hold the line, but only for a few moments. His flashbangs are going to be very efficient. RPK with the P250 again. He's going to find himself some damage, so even in this round, one that Ninja should still win. They're taking so much in terms of financial damage. Forest is going to clean it up, but considering that was a half buy, that's a really solid round for Vitality.
These defenses have been so scrappy. It's great trading from Vitality on the way in, but it's the NiP, I have to feel like, I mean, Lekro with the AWP gets that opening kill, not able to get into a safer position. The Molotovs force him out of quad, a hectic scenario. NiP has not been able to prove that they can handle it well. Now we have the AK-47s for Vitality. 5 kills for Force and Get Right, 7 for RPK off the back of some stellar rounds, as you said, with the P250.
$0 for Rez and Get Right. Dennis goes for a peek, but he's all alone. And the 2 kills to start off round 6 have gone the way of the Frenchman. Collective shiver down the spine for NiP. An integral round here to start things off, and it's pretty convincingly going the way of the T side, and we've already discussed this. Even the rounds that NiP have been winning, it's been scrappy, it's been laboured, it's not been effective and clean.
And they're going to have to battle again. Going for an aggressive play when you don't have funds to risk it. They're on the verge of being punished massively. This is a long time for NiP to play in a 3-on-5. I like this call. Rotate 3 players over. Maybe you can catch someone trying to find a pick. That needs to be a kill, and Forrest gets aggressive to find it. Vitality rotating to the other side of the map. NiP going to stand their ground at A. I think possibly, because Forrest has defended this B bomb site, when they see him over at A, maybe they assume it's a stack, because this is a pretty convincing and a pretty confident hit. They didn't slow down even a single bit.
Yeah, precisely. MBK has been around the block too many times. As soon as Forrest claimed the kill, I think they knew exactly what was coming up. And NiP, with their dodgy economy, will be looking to save onto these guns. They've got an AK, M4, and the AWP, Kevlar, some nades, plenty of equipment value that they want to take into the next round. But Vitality, they are going to pull this off. So the first proper rifle round for both teams, it has gone the way of Vitality, and you'd have to say, Moses, pretty convincingly.
Oh yeah, pretty convincing. I mean, it's helped out obviously by the pushes in towards A main. It's a cool idea from NiP. Obviously, Dennis throws that Molotov deep towards the choke point to isolate that player behind the box. The pop flash is meant to come in and give him a 1-on-1. He didn't win that 1-on-1, but even so, Zywoo put the Molotov out and took a swing as well. So that was going to be a 1-for-1 pretty much no matter what happened.
There's a man on your screen that has been really charging down first on Vitality in the opening stage of this first map. 8 and 4 with 113 ADR, or 116 ADR as it says there on the screen. But either way, he has been a mammoth for Vitality, and they're going to be hoping that he has one of those big performances, because in 2018 it was a bit of an up and down. He obviously had pneumonia, which certainly took him off a little bit, but Zywoo gets one before he's brought back down to earth. Another player that's actually struggling with sickness at the moment, so we'll have to see how he can perform today.
Well, NBK is struggling with 11 HP. You never like to have that at the beginning of the round. I imagine they just leave him up on this boost. Maybe be able to catch someone off guard, playing at a very narrow angle, so his HP doesn't always matter unless there's a nade. Lekro's going to creep up a chance, and actually Lekro spots NBK before he even realizes the possibility. Now over to the A bomb site. Dennis and Lekro rotating deep within the site. The AWP can cover highway and mid, but its attention is taken away. His gaze is averted. Apex is out at forklift. Alex pressuring the truck. 3-4 players coming in for NiP to defend this. We need some stellar entries. It's not going to happen, at least from Alex, but Apex, as we know he can do. What a great flick from Lekro. He's managing this so well, and he's still alive. Now he has to chase him down. Forrest has the angle. RPK does great damage, not able to complete anything, but it's the AWP and quad that comes out on top.
Yeah, excellent work. Not just getting the kills, but also forcing the last remaining player to be caught in this dungeon between two players. Couldn't really do anything. There's just the head protruding over the top for MBK, but this is really the play here. Not just the 2 frags. Second kill is disgusting flick. But now you can see how much it stalls the final player. He can't do any more economic damage. So keeping 3 players alive and the AWP is really significant.
Yeah, finally they've been able to have a pretty convincing round on the defense. Well done from the Swedes. PETA over there, hyping the players up, means a lot to them, and obviously Vitality, as you mentioned earlier, the last remaining French team, almost playing for the entirety of the French scene that has really slipped in these past few years in terms of their impact and their standing within the professional Counter-Strike scene. One time so dominant, one time neck-to-neck with the Swedes in the early stages of CSGO. And while the Swedes have remained a constant near the top, Vitality and the other French players and teams have dropped off entirely.
It's interesting. This match really is almost one from a bygone era.
It's a throwback.
It really is. Only one team can progress to the top 8. And one team, this is where it ends for them in Katowice. It's not a great buy for Vitality. Again, though, even with keeping 3 players alive, NiP haven't exactly recovered themselves either, so this could be a fulcrum point of the first half. Looks like we're going to see some aggression on A side. Smokes and Molotovs being exchanged between the two teams. It's Alex that's going to take the bulk of the damage, but Get Right is going to find RPK before MBK bounces back and makes the most of that opportunity. Lekro, who has been so precise with the AWP, is able to survive again, somehow, some way, on 11 health. And sure, Vitality have got control of the bomb, but it's going to be a 2v4 retake.
And look at all the utility on the NiP side. They can slow play this. They're going to wait for that smoke at the front of the bomb site to fade. It's going to give time for Rez to start getting a flank in. He's going to come all the way around. He has to choose door or a main. He's chosen a main. It'll be Alex's responsibility, but does he have the read is the question. Pink on a Dennis, and now Alex is pulled in 2 directions. 3, excuse me, as truck is also a factor, and there's just nothing you can do. It's going to be another retake, another defuse for NiP, and another round where they keep plenty of players alive, so that money is going to build up.
It's starting to build up, but Vitality, one thing they're going to take out of this as a positive is even when they're losing rounds, they're consistently getting bomb plants, they're consistently getting onto the site. Pistol round, they got 1. In round 4, they got a plant, and now in round 8, they got a plant as well, even though they lost. So they're going to take some positives out of a couple of losses there.
The toughest part for this half for Vitality so far is that the 2 rounds they win, they haven't been able to convert into a second in a row. So they're immediately getting responded by NiP. And having close rounds only counts for so much, especially when you consider, as we've seen a number of times throughout this event, Vince, Cash has been more T-sided.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to rack up a lead on this offensive half. It is feels like a pretty even map overall, but from what we've seen so far, you know, 10 rounds on your T-side isn't out of the ordinary, neither is 9.
Yeah, exactly. We've actually seen that quite a few times already, so Vitality have got their work cut out for them. We already know that the Ninjas, going back quite some distance, are pretty damn strong when it comes to their T-side. But Dennis, they're using the E-box to perch up. He can't see over the smoke. It is just pistols across on Vitality. And Forest now going to claim 2. It's also going to stop any aggression from the site. They've all been cleaned up nicely. Alex, last player left. 4 kills for Forest, but he's not going to get the ace. Rez takes it away from him, but a very convincing round. Now NiP are turning it around in their favor.
NiP did a really good job of using their utility before the retake to make sure they could use that forklift. They denied that control for Vitality. That can be such a tricky spot for CTs to have to retake against if a terrorist is able to gain this position, but the Molotovs prevent anyone from Vitality from utilizing that, and it's actually Forrest who's able to kind of cheat over there, and when the Molotov fades, he's obviously got an easy angle into the bomb site to eliminate 3 for the retake. 4, excuse me, that one towards door as well. 7-2 in the favor of NiP. It started out sketchy, but now it's looking solid. Now they're holding on with no real issues. They've kind of built up into this game, and on top of that, they have the money behind them.
Absolutely. The storyline was there that it was a sketchy start, but now at this stage I think you've got to say that they've definitely started to fall into the shape we were expecting from them.
How aggressive does Get Right want to be on this flank? You know, he loves the lurk. You got to assume if you're in this position as Get Right that someone from Vitality is watching for it. It's not the case at the moment. Get Right can hear some footsteps now. He's getting a little bit bored, a little bit antsy. It all came down to timing.
And the timing has not worked out for the Swedes. He's on the receiving end of the entry. Dennis feels his way through the smoke. There's going to be another one put down, but 2 Molotovs will force Vitality away from claiming checkers as their own. Another Molotov down from Alex. Interesting decision, considering they couldn't really make the most of that.
Interesting as well, a lot of Molotovs used by Dennis and Rez. They're going to need to do this if they just don't have them. Rez is going to have to back away. See if you can get lucky and then play retake, but NiP, if they don't get something soon, they might just decide to save.
Loretz is going to try and force the issue. Pop flashes himself through the smoke. You can respect the aggression, but it completely backfires. Forrest did get another one. I believe that was through smoke.
It's through vents.
Oh, through vents. It's Dennis that's smoke. Pardon me. Now the smoke is cleared. Can they try and make this retake a reality? I'd say with the amount of counter flashes, it's not looking good. And Fleckro doesn't get a pick in the next few moments. They may just pull the plug and get out of here. I think this is probably around the time where they decide, yep, let's tap out of this one, boys. Let's keep the AWP and AK, which is going to be very useful going through into the next round. They've got such a good lead. There's no reason to throw these guns away. They're not in desperation mode.
I thought they might try and stick around and just take some guns away from Vitality right at the end as they try and evacuate the bomb site, but that final kill that comes out from Vitality just forces them back. Obviously don't want to lose the AWP, that's the really expensive weapon. Even though NiP have plenty of money reinvesting in the AWP, it never feels good. So still a 4-round lead for the Swedish side. Forrest and Dennis high up there, 112 ADR for each of them. Dennis with 6 kills, Forrest with 13. Even Get Right talked about in an interview, he thinks their map pool is very, very strong. He said they have some specific issues with each map that they play, but they're very confident in being able to play all the maps that they like, despite those issues.
Yeah, I'd say you've got Dust 2 that's pretty much an insta-ban for NiP, but apart from that, they can play most maps. It's a pretty decent level. In terms of cash, in the past we've seen how good they can be here. ZywOo gonna have an AWP in his hands. He's had a bit of a quiet one thus far.
Hasn't really had that AWP a whole lot. We've seen him a couple times being the main instigator of mid pressure for Vitality, boosted up with the AK or Galil and clearing mid on his own, which hasn't been the worst thing in the world considering NiP haven't really defended it too aggressively. It's usually just been Get Right in middle alone, either spotting or close up. Apex is going to give ZywOo a chance to move out slowly with the bomb, now under vents.
Just waiting patiently for that smoke to fully plume before they do decide to start to push. Alex gonna get the entry. Apex is taking so much damage, but will he be aggressive and confident enough to go through the other side of the smoke? No, he's gonna hold on for the time being. Vent has been popped. Alex gonna try and be a bit of a nuisance for NiP, but Lacro and Forrest now doing so much damage. Forrest has picked up another one. There's only 15 seconds left. The last line of defense on the site is Rez with an AWP, but he's gonna get burnt to a crisp. Now Lacro from heaven tries to do what he can. I don't think Apex realizes the player actually burned on that side of the site, and it's gonna allow Dennis to come in. 2 seconds left. Can Apex hit his done? No, Dennis knows he's came off. He's gonna play the time perfectly. Apex gets the kill, but NiP get the round.
I mean, great shot from Apex. A little bit of a one-tap on Dennis there. But Dennis plays that so smart. Drops down the pressure, the footsteps, the noise, the aggression that he brings out, forces Apex off the plant, and then he just plays the time. Knows it's in his favor. When the bomb doesn't get planted within a second or two of him going down, he realizes what's happened. Great hold from Forrest. And even this defense reading it right in the nick of right at the correct moment. I mean, they were all started to rotate over towards the A. There was a lot of pressure in mid, a lot of pressure on that A bomb site, and they came back into the B site just in time. I think because Rez took an aggressive peek, you could see he was so damaged when the Molotovs eventually rained in. He was down to 14 health, but he got the critical information.
So another solid hold by the Swedes, and they may be called upon on A again. Forrest seemingly has made a move over permanently from B to A at this stage. It is more of an A-centric defense. Only the isolated player on B of Lacro with his AWP.
That's the beauty of the AWP on this map, especially if at the B bomb site it has such a deep angle that you can get kind of some information, especially if you have two teammates that are keeping eyes on mid very well. You know they can't get towards vent, so you can feel the confidence to just stand in the open. Gonna be a boost up. Again, that'll be ZywOo going up. Dennis and Force on the initial defense. Gonna bring Apex down low before the hit begins, and here come the smokes. But it looks like Vitality trying to do some trickery. Boosting up. Bomb is going to go in towards A main, but Dennis has got that covered. 2 quick kills for him, and there's Rez from Connector. This is falling apart for Vitality. They were never able to get the opening they needed, and that looks too easy for NiP.
And it continues, doesn't it? It's a case of Vitality get around, instantly lose the next one. Their economy is constantly in the bin. This means ZywOo's had a lack of AWPs. He's not had anywhere near as much impact as he would have liked. And Vitality look a bit dejected at this stage. RPK's also slowed down. Of course, he had that sick P250 play. But I think he's only added 1 kill in the last 5 or 6 rounds to his name.
He's really slowed. Obviously, those P250 kills up. I mean, it doesn't help at all the case for Vitality that Forrest seems... He had a quiet series against MIBR who absolutely trucked NiP.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for the rest of this tournament, and now in this map, he's been stellar. He's saved them in a couple of rounds now.
And to be fair, MIBR looked rejuvenated. They looked really solid. So Forest was just kind of getting obliterated as everyone else was on NiP. But now that it's a little bit more of an even playing ground, it's all Swedes all day long. This round should be more of the same. AKs and Orcs going to task. All too easy. 10 rounds on the CT side already. And again, this is one of the few maps in the pool where you're expecting the Ts to maybe get more rounds. So this is even more one-sided.
Good to see this performance from Dennis as well. Probably needed it for himself on top of everything. Not the greatest of scorelines, 10-8, but the ADR is fantastic, leading the way for his team at 117. This is really cool to see out of NiP. Dominant CT half. AKs once again for Vitality. Question is who's gonna have the production for him? ZywOo on 3, so is NBK. Alex on 4. Just not enough frags coming out. The strategies could be great, and some of them have looked very good. But if you're not going to get the kills, it just doesn't matter. Lekro with the op now, giving a new look. I don't think he's had this angle yet. Vitality might walk into it. ZywOo's very, very deep. He's on those stairs, so he's in no danger quite yet. But without a flashbang, Lekro could have an easy kill, and NBK walks right into it. Not aware of the possibility of fighting retreat.
And they get baited into pushing to try and deal with Lekro. Dennis has stood there. And the way he's playing, he's not going to be missing out. It's great to see. You know, he came out, as you said, on Twitter and fully admitted that he's had a bit of a stinker of a tournament. It's not going well for him. Excellent that he's came back into this game and he's just dropping bombs.
If there's any team, though, that's going to, you know, be good for you to have to recover mentality in the middle of a tournament of this size, it's going to be NiP. Forest and GetRight have been playing this game for so long. Playing Counter-Strike, I think, what GetRight said, 18 years, a third of his life. And obviously they've won so many things and they've gone through slumps themselves and they know what it's like. And GetRight even in an interview saying, you know, we're going to help him as much as we can with whatever he needs to be able to get back on track, and obviously been very patient with him. And here he is delivering when they needed most, when their backs are against the wall, facing elimination.
I mean, the truly terrifying part of this puzzle for Vitality this stage is one of the players that's been the brightest for NiP, Rez. He's their lowest ADI, he's their lowest fragger. He's typically a guy that's right behind Forrest or above him. Well, he's actually at the bottom of the scoreboard. He hasn't really been required.
Yeah, well, part of it too is that there's been Vitality has leaned more on the A bomb site than they have on B, and Rez is playing over at that B bomb site more often than not. He's played mid 1 or 2 rounds, but he hasn't had to have all that action. Forrest has been much more mobile and changing where he's defending. Desperation buy in this last round. Scout upgraded pistols, which you could argue the P250 and the Deagles have been more effective for Vitality than the AK-47s had, so maybe a small chance in that sense. AUG is waiting for that jump up. GetRight keeping his eyes there, but 2 players to defend, and it is Forrest. He talked about Rez not being needed. It looks like this round he will be.
But again, Forrest on the correct position. He's been playing A when they pushed that, now he's on B. Looks like they're going to be trying to push him down. He's only died 4 times on this half. Pretty excellent plays from him. MBK is getting some ground, but again, as you highlighted, there's not a huge amount to play off with it. Only 2 players have nades at this stage, just 2 smokes.
But just that presence. GetRight's backed off of connector. Forrest is now rotating over. They're shifting towards A because there's been so many A hits. Rez is all alone, and he's going to be all alone for some time. This is going to be a really difficult defense. Flames at his feet. He's forced into the open. He does get 1. That's great, but he needs to build upon it. The spam from Forrest isn't going to give him any help. Going to have to be a retake from NiP. Good job from Vitality pulling the defense out of position and then striking this B bomb site.
Yeah, they need to wait for Lekro as well. He's the player with the HE and the Molotov, and they've both just been tossed in towards default's going to force the terrorists out into the open. At least gets 1 out there, but they can still hold the backside. RPK going to use Rez's AUG against the CTs, but Lekro flicks onto him. Frost's going to get caught in transition, and it looks as though the pistols once again will play it out for Vitality. Desert Eagles to the head. ZywOo has at least an influential round to finish things off.
A monster defense by the Swedes in the opening half. 11-4 is the lead, and once again, as we've seen in this event, Forrest leading the way. Can Vitality recover? We're going to find out after the break. And we're back at IEM Katowice. NiP with an 11-4 lead over Vitality, switching over to the offensive side. And I have to fix something, Vince, because I said Get Right had been playing this game for 18 years, and then I said a third of his life, which may seem insane, because that would make Get Right 54 years old. I don't know where the 18 come from. I'm just going to give you the quote. This is a game that I've played for more than 2/3 of my life. It's the game I still enjoy watching. I love everything about it. So there was no sign of 18 in there. This is just about the stage of every event where I lose my mind. But we've got 3 days off after this, so I'll find it.
Yeah, it's been a long one, mate. It's been a long one. We'll let you off. Probably has played for somewhere close to 18 years, though.
I blame it on all the pierogies.
Well, let's see if Vitality can sweep aside that very poor first half and come back with a blaze of glory. MBK and ZywOo going to try their best, but Lecro and Get Right are going to be able to get 2 kills of their own. Bomb's been dropped on quad. ZywOo is now feeling it. He is landing headshots. Oh my goodness, a 4K. And Vitality pick up the second pistol. Just what they were looking for.
Yeah, that's so good for the young man. A big-time play in that second pistol round to keep Vitality in this map. They absolutely desperately needed that one. As we mentioned, he's had it as the first half was such a struggle. I mean, he didn't really have a whole lot of impact, and part of that is due to the fact that Vitality never able to have a lot of money, never able to get an AWP in his hands, his preferred weapon. So it's really good to see him after so many people have hyped him up. If you're just tuning in, this might be the first time you're watching ZywOo. He's considered to be one of the next up-and-comers, one of the next players to really be a force to reckon with in this game. And that clip at least shows you a little bit of the reason why.
And that's not really his main role either. It's when he gets the AWP in his hands. We didn't see too much of it on the T side. A lot of that was down to Vitality constantly tripping over once they'd won rounds. But NiP, 0 investment other than a few pistols. No grenades in sight. Just 2 deagles. So you'd hope that Vitality can start to make a game out of this one.
You certainly would. Great chance to do it. Despite, as we mentioned, this map more leaning towards the T side. It is going to be an uphill battle. And you imagine if they can convert this round, we'll start to see the AWP coming out for ZywOo. Second guesses himself playing aggressively, realizing he's got Nog on Alex that can help cover, that can use that range, and he transfers around to the close angle, which NiP might not even make it to. It's going to turn into a B-split. There shouldn't really be a whole element of danger. I think RPK and Apex would have to take their hands off the mouse and keyboard. There's no nades on NiP. They're going to rely on these deagles, which we know can come out, which we know can ring true, but Apex is pretty safe because of the lack of smokes on the Ninjas side.
They've got that safety net of events again as well. Once that gets popped, they're going to know exactly what's coming up. Expect to see ZywOo push into vents or make a move around the backside. But Forest has found RPK with a Glock. Lecro did a bit of damage beforehand, but this is where the cleanup comes into fruition. Apex with 3, Vitality with 6. But as a result of a small bite, here we go. Rifle round in effect from the Swedes. Can even afford an AWP if they choose here, Moses. Forest has enough for a glass cannon, but we know they're just as comfortable with full AKs as well.
I don't think it's time to really go glass cannon. I could understand if he was going to have even just light armor to protect from some of the nades, but you never know when the nades are going to come over mid, you know, from the reverse, if it's going to come flying through a smoke, so I like this decision to go for the AK-47s. He was stellar with the rifles in the first half, a very versatile player. NiP might go for a timing hit. Looks like it might be a small fake. Maybe you send Get Right in towards the B bomb site to try and get controls of Checker, maybe find a pick. But they had 3 players swiftly walking into A main. Get Right blind. I don't think RPK saw him though.
Oh, that flashbang. Destroying the eyeballs of Get Right. Couldn't see a single thing. MBK going to be found by Forest, and this does open up A somewhat. Alex is here. They're going to have to send over an extra rotator in the form of Apex to the truck. How long can Alex survive for? So far, so good. The first kill is going to definitely stall down NiP, but Forest again, of course, is coming out with more kills. Some damage inflicted across to Apex, but he's just about to hold on to the frag, but now it's down to Forest. He's in a 1-on-3. He's got the first onto Apex. Now RPK and ZywOo need to follow. They both have nades though. Molotovs and a HE. Forest has been chunked down to just 50, but they're going to both be coming from the same way. And Forest may take the fight to them. Oh, that was so close. So close to a double spray, but ZywOo, with his AK-47, is able to clutch the round.
This is what makes Forest so dangerous. He's obviously incredibly skilled and gifted, but I think the big thing is he's one of those players who is more than willing to just take a heads-up fight with no utility. There's no warning that he's just going to peek. That kill onto NBK, like, you have to imagine in this first gun round that NiP is going to throw a smoke to cover off the cross. It's going to throw a flashbang, a Molotov towards Forklift, anything. And as soon as the smoke fades, Forest is just like, I want to fight. And he just wins him straight up. This one, yeah, they almost lined up for him, and if maybe ZywOo's in a different position, he's not able to trade that and force him to get another shot at it.
That would have been a 1v3 clutch and an ace for Forest. He got 4 kills at the end of that round. The guy is just on fire right now.
Yeah, he's a monster. A little bit slower, a little bit less utility for the ninjas. Probably have to see some more of those heads-up fights from Forest, just straight duels. ZywOo's had a really good start to this half. The 4 kills in the pistol round, obviously that final kill to lock down the round win. The trade onto Forest right at the end. In terms of its impact, that is a huge single kill to get.
NiP once again going to be slowing things down, just trying to poke and probe their way to see if there's any weaknesses in the armor of Vitality, and Rez has found it. And will exploit it onto Alex. Gonna get mollied out. Oh, actually does kill him. He was so low on health that actually finished him off. I didn't think it would spread in time, but there we go. NBK now gonna call in the cavalry. And it's coming in thick and fast. They've actually got 3 players in close proximity. The third on highway, but Forest and Lekro gonna batten down with kills. RPK, who started so well with the pistols, now gonna have to try and trade off with the rifles instead. Takes minimal damage on his approach, but still Forest and Lekro. Dennis the find. He's got Forest, but that's where his comeback will be laid to rest.
Gives up his position, had to take that fight. Never knew if Force had seen him or was going to swing over eventually. Dennis is able to adjust. Nice take from NiP. You could see there the strength of that forklift position. NBK had to give up the bomb site with no teammates on the other side of that smoke. Once Force gets towards forklift, they're exposed out in the open. 12-7. And at least this time on their CT side, they were able to get the first 3 rounds right in quick succession, but NiP's reset them either way. With that 4-kill round from Forest that ends in a loss, it takes all their money to buy up again afterwards. Yeah, this one right here, you can see NBK, nowhere for him to go. Forest can even respawn on Apex if Lekro wasn't to get that kill. A sick round, a sick game so far from NiP, looking very deadly.
And of course, the grueling aspect to this, Moses, is this is Vitality's choice of map.
Yikes!
Cash is theirs. We're going to Overpass next.
That's a big yikes. And you can see, I mean, they're feeling the pressure. They go for a force buy. AUG, SMG on Apex, upgraded pistols. Vitality know how important this round is. Alex is brought down by a nade, 51 HP. If you have heard a pistol, they're not going to realize how much of an investment, especially on ZywOo and Apex. Oh, this is a pretty dirty way to try and get into the round. Boost over in the back. Will NiP expect it? I think if you're NiP, at the very least, you just play every single round as if it's going to be a full buy, as if you're going up against armor and Molotovs and nades. You have such a lead. Don't want to give it away by making any assumptions of a save. Teams at this stage on the verge of being eliminated tend to take a little bit more risks. There's Dennis to go down.
Alex is still alive somehow, some way, but ZywOo has been drilled, and here comes Forest again. He's an entering machine to add to all of the other strings to his bow. And Vitality can do nothing about it. There's the other veteran and Get Right. Finds NBK from the side, and there's a second one through the smoke. Apex has his head taken clean off. And RPK has to just run away and try and save. The ninjas are in such fine form.
And it's hard. I mean, this isn't even anything special tactically. This is just a brilliant performance from Forest, at this stage of the major. I mean, when he's playing like this, you just let him do whatever he wants. If he wants to entry, which he normally isn't doing for NiP, let him do it, because he's just winning every single fight. Actually, pretty impressive that Dennis has been able to maintain that ADR at 108, considering all the work that Forrest has put in.
Yeah, he's got 9 assists, has been a great team player for the Swedes on this map, even though flown a bit under the radar. But here we go again, Forrest straight through.
That one.
That's the shot, but Dennis has already weakened him anyway. And his get right with the spray through the smoke here is just disgusting.
I don't even know how Forrest saw that player so fast. I don't know if he pre-fired it, if he was just like tapping as he goes just in case, but either way, it looks real dirty. And for Vitality, there's not a whole lot you can say about them at the moment. This defense, we knew it was going to be a really, really tough battle in the second half once they got blitzed on their own offense, once they got held back so much. All of NiP is here and Rez is waiting. Some players with nades in their hands, but Rez is very aware, and Dennis is going to get the final 3 kills. A hat trick.
Yeah, the full eco going to allow him to pad his stats a little bit more. And now, here we go again with another buy. ZywOo does have enough for an AWP. He's going to take the opportunity. It means no nades, no kit, no armor for him, and actually no kits at all across the rest of his team. So Vitality, I mean, this is as desperate as it gets, really. They're going to need a hero here, Vitality, you have to feel, if they're going to bounce back in this map somehow. Someone to really take over. So we've been unfortunate to miss out on both of those players pushing through after the flashbang connected. But he knows that that is an untenable position, so he will back away. But this gives up mid-control to NiP once again. They've been so good at exploiting this so far.
It's such a difficult part of the map to cover. At least they have the AWP, but it's like the last chance for ZywOo with that AWP to really have an impact on this defensive side. RPK's pushed out, NiP knows it. They have him trapped. They're going to start coming out of the vents. He's trying to fall back. Oh my god, that timing, he just gets away, goes back for the fight. Knows he couldn't retreat any further. Apex alone in the site. He's got Lekro low, but it doesn't matter. Instant headshot, and Alex is going to try and be sneaky. Catch him off guard coming through the smoke, and he's got that one so far, but Dennis with a great return. And now the smoke on towards upper to cover his teammates as the bomb comes in.
3-on-2 in favor of NiP. Vitality want to go for this again. I mentioned earlier about no kits and the lack of grenades, and without armor and ZywOo.
I think they have to go for it. I'm actually kind of confused of why it looks like they might be falling back. I thought maybe NBK was going to go to the flank.
Yeah, surely at this point, when you know you can effectively give up 8 map points, you just go for broke, right? You just try and make the plays.
That's my thought process as well. At 2-on-3, it's not an unwinnable situation. Obviously, not having a kit is just kind of dissuades them, and not having armor on ZywOo. But at some point, and I mean, I guess that point is now that they just don't have any rounds to give up. They have to fight for this. They have to take some disadvantaged situations and see what they can make of it.
Maybe gives you a bit of insight to the lack of confidence that Vitality are currently having.
Yeah, it could just be a testament to how battered they feel by NiP in this opening map.
On the other side of the coin, NiP are feeling fantastic at this stage. Vitality's choice of map is crumbled in every single way possible. And now NiP have 8 map points to move across the overpass at a 1-0 lead. And they'll be 1 map away, Moses, of reaching top 8. We have to say there's going to be quite a few grenades at least purchased for Vitality. They do this time have a kit in the hands of Alex, but Dennis is going to be just going in without any grenades. It's going to catch them off guard. He's picked up one. Oh, and get right with a second. That could be it. The final nail being put into the coffin. And Vitality, simply put, have been outclassed, outbested in every single way.
It's one of those things you can pull off deep into the playbook when you have such a lead. You can risk a round of just walking in and see what you find at a duel. And if Dennis, if this is him recovering from whatever confidence issues, whatever mental issues he's had in this tournament so far. NiP is going to be scary moving forward. It's NiP alone in a 1-on-5. He's going to go down. A statement from the Ninjas. 16-7 victory here on Cash, led by Forrest, 25-10. Lecro's next with 21 kills. But a very, very good team effort, and Vitality simply never got into the map. That is a brutal way to start a series fighting for your life in the Counter-Strike Major. We're going to head to a break.